everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday. It is the Friday before Christmas. So Christmas is on Sunday and it's Friday. I usually go to the store on Fridays, and so I continued to go to the store today. But there was a winter warning that's happening kind of currently, and everything is frozen solid. It all night was raining freezing ice, and the ground is frozen solid. Even my gravel out in my front yard, my driveway, the gravel, I gotta check on the fire. Oh, it's fine. Keep an eye on that guy. That was very interesting, and I considered, maybe I shouldn't go to the store because it's a few days before Christmas, and you know, Fred Meyer is where I usually go. They're closed on Christmas, and then they close super early on Christmas Eve, and I don't dare to go on Christmas Eve. But everything went fine. The roads were fine. They were frozen, but luckily Nick has a Jeep, and so I was able to drive the Jeep, and it has a snow 4-wheel drive mode. Luckily, I was safe and I made it back okay, and the store wasn't too crazy, and not a lot of people were on the road just because of the ice on the road. But I did spend almost $200, which, that's a lot of money. I am hosting Christmas just for my mom and my siblings, and then Nick, of course, is going to be here too. He's going to do some ribs. So that's basically what we're doing today. We're going to be prepping for Christmas. I'm not going to be cooking, and we're not doing a traditional Christmas. We're going to be doing, he's going to be doing ribs, and then I'm just going to be doing a bunch of sides like macaroni salad, coleslaw, corn. I'm going to do dinner rolls. But I'm not going to do any of that until either tomorrow or Christmas morning. But today what we're going to focus on are baked goods. I have a list of things. I have to grab my list and put out, well, first of all, I have to put away all of my groceries. There's all my groceries. So I have to put all my groceries away. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to gather up the list of what we're going to be cooking today. I'm also going to be doing a potato soup for my neighbors, and cinnamon rolls, I know, no-bake peanut butter bars, and then there's like raspberry, I'll tell you when I gather up the recipes and everything. Let's put all these groceries away. Typically when I'm putting groceries away, I have a system. So I put all of my dry goods and things that aren't food related on the opposite side of the kitchen. And then on this side of the kitchen, I'll usually put everything that goes into the refrigerator and the freezer. And it just makes it easier for me to load it all into the fridge. And then the pantry's on the other side of the this counter, so it'll make it easier for me to put away the dry goods as well. I'm just gonna bless you guys with a little haul because why not? We got some salsa, we got some tomato sauce for curry next week, Tang, because Nick loves Tang and I love Tang too, but I shouldn't really drink it because it's so bad. And then some beans, coconut milk for curry, garbanzo beans for curry, some more ranch. These I'm gonna be using for cookies, some more soap, cast iron soap, quinoa, or quinoa. I always pronounce it quinoa. Tomato sauce, refried beans, some palm olive, graham crackers for the no-bake peanut butter bars. I forget what these are for. I think these are for my other baked goods that I'm making. And then red raspberry preserves, and then some chips for salsa. I also did go ahead and get a cookie not drying rack, but a cookie cooling rack because I don't have one and I really need one. Some cream cheese, broccoli florets, which I was surprised I found this bag at Fred Meyer. Usually they're out, or they just don't have any big bags of florets that are just florets and not florets and cuts. I did get a thing of cream cheese or cheesecake because it is a special occasion and I would die for cream cheese. I keep calling it cream cheese. And I would die for cheesecake. I got some onions, tofu for curry, carrots, celery, eggs, corn on the cob, coleslaw, zucchini, potato, arugula for my bearded dragon, a lot of potatoes, and then breakfast potatoes, more broccoli, fresh broccoli. And then I did also get some ice cream because they were doing a buy one, get one free. So that is a really good deal, and it's really hard to pass up. I don't usually buy ice cream, but I did because it is a special occasion this weekend. Some milk, juice, same thing. I don't usually buy juice, but because I am kind of hosting, I want to have other beverages other than Tang water and milk and seltzer water. So I got juice, and then I did go ahead and get some of these tamales. They were on sale for $8.99, I believe. They're usually $10, so $1 on sale. But I really like these tamales, and it'll be a really quick dinner for us next week. And then I did get pre-made macaroni salad, so I don't have to make homemade. I don't want to overstress myself out too much this weekend. And then some heavy whipping cream. I got everything put away, and I was able to get done what I needed to get done. It's about 2 hours later. Now I really need to get started on everything I'm going to be making today. The first thing I'm probably going to get started on are the cinnamon rolls, just because those take the longest. And then after we're letting those rest and everything, I'm going to start on the potato soup, because that's probably the second longest thing, I think. I think all the other things I have not made before. So let's get started on the cinnamon rolls. I'm not really going to walk you guys step by step on how to do these cinnamon rolls, because I believe I did a video already on how I made cinnamon rolls a few weeks back, so I will link that video down below. But it's super simple once you get the hang of making cinnamon rolls. I think I still remember my first time making cinnamon rolls. It was very stressful, and it still kind of is, and later in the video you will see that I actually mess up a little bit on the cinnamon rolls. I've made cinnamon rolls many times before, and I still managed to mess them up, which that is perfectly fine. They still turned out pretty good. They just weren't, you'll see, they just weren't perfect. But once you get the hang of them, you will breeze right through them. But basically I just threw in all of the wet ingredients, and then I mixed it. And then I threw in the flour, mixed it again, and then kind of let the stand mixer do the work for me and knead the dough. And so, especially if you have a stand mixer, it makes making things like this super easy, where you don't have to stand at your counter and knead your dough for 10 minutes. You can just let the stand mixer do all the work, which is phenomenal. And I love my stand mixer so much. I'm so grateful for it. I don't use it every day, but I use it at least every week, and I just love it. I love it so much. So if you can get a stand mixer, I highly recommend it. If you do a lot of baking / cooking, it's just amazing. So here the stand mixer is already done kneading the bread or kneading the dough. So I just greased a bowl, put the dough in a bowl, and set a towel over it, put it in my oven. My oven was not on. I just kind of wanted to put it out of the way. As I'm waiting for the cinnamon roll dough to rise, I think it has an extra 6 minutes left. I got my pastry mat out, and I will sprinkle it with flour once the dough is all the way done. I'm gonna check it. So it says they do approximately 30 minutes, but really until it's doubled in size. I'm gonna let it go for the rest of the 6 minutes. You don't want to overproof your dough because you don't want your cinnamon rolls to be too airy. While we're waiting for this dough to rise, I'm gonna start peeling potatoes for our potato soup. So I ended up peeling a good amount of potatoes in 6 minutes, which helped me be a little bit more productive. And then my timer went off, so now it is time to flour this pastry mat And I cannot tell you how much I love this pastry mat. It has brought me so much joy. I really highly recommend a pastry mat if you do a lot of baking and breads, baked goods, anything of this sort, just because it's easier almost on mess cleanup. I feel like I hate making a mess on my counters. I'm a super big clean freak, and my counters are hard to see anything on the counters just because it's white and I can't see much dirtiness on the counters, so it just makes me feel comfortable to do it on a mat that I can actually pick up, put in the sink, and scrub and wipe and all that stuff. So I really highly suggest a pastry mat as well. I will link one down below. But as you can see, I made a gigantic mess. Now here's where I messed up, and I will let you know in the next clip as well. But the cinnamon filling, it was way too runny. And as I was finishing the potatoes, peeling the potatoes, I was kind of thinking back at the recipe, or looking back at the recipe, and then I noticed where I messed up. So sometimes that happens. It's whatever. They still turned out. They just weren't super ooey and gooey, but they were still really good. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun picking up this mess because it was so gooey and ooey, but I did have to throw all of this goodness away, unfortunately. I have half of my potatoes cut up. I'm gonna add them to my pot of water. I haven't turned my stove on just yet, so I can gracefully put these in this pot without them splashing and making a mess everywhere. Yep, there we go. That's okay. I am reading off the recipe for the cinnamon rolls to figure out what the next step is, and I was trying to figure out how much heavy cream I need to pour over the cinnamon rolls. And I realized what my mistake was with the filling and why it was so darn runny. In the recipe, it has, and I really like how they laid out the recipe. They'll have different parts of the roll. So it'll list the ingredients for the dough, and then it'll list the ingredients for the frosting, and then it'll list the ingredients for the filling. And I like that. But when I was reading the directions for the filling, the brown sugar filling, there is the heavy cream on that part. But I failed to read what it said after half a cup of heavy cream. It says for pouring on top. So I accidentally added a half a cup of whipping cream into the filling. So that is why the brown sugar filling was so runny and messy. I really hope I didn't mess them up. They probably will be really creamy, but I don't know. We will see. It was kind of a lot of heavy cream, but oh well, that's okay. We make mistakes. Even when we've made recipes many times, I have made cinnamon rolls countless times now, and that was the first time I ever made that mistake. So before I make any kind of soup, I will usually chop all my veggies up, and then I will throw most of those veggies into a sauteing pan with either butter or oil, or sometimes both. I find that it gives the soup so much more flavor. I did try doing it without sauteing all the vegetables, but I did notice a significant difference, so I have just never stopped sauteing before throwing them in the soup. And usually I won't throw celery in my soups because I hate the consistency of celery. I love the flavor, and I just love the flavor that celery gives things, but I just hate the texture and consistency. But I found that chopping them small enough to where I can hardly tell that they're in the soup, I will eat it that way. And the soup isn't really for me. It's for my neighbors and my grandma. The cinnamon rolls smell amazing, so that's a good sign. I hope. I really, really hope. And then I'm sauteing all of the onions and garlic and all that good stuff, but I might have to transfer the soup into a bigger pot. I have a stock pot, so I might have to use that. But while our veggies are sauteing and our cinnamon rolls, they have about 4-ish minutes left. I want to get started on the no-bake peanut butter bars. So let's do that. This was the first time that I had made these peanut butter chocolate bars. They're super simple to make. All you need to do is crush up the graham crackers, add some powdered sugar, and then some melted butter, peanut butter. Mix it all together, spread it in a pan, melt chocolate chips, and then put the melted chocolate over top of this mixture. It is so good, and it doesn't require any crazy kitchen gadgets or instruments, so it's super simple. And if you have a kitchen, odds are you will have most of these ingredients, and they're so good. I'm so obsessed with peanut butter and chocolate, and it is just the perfect little treat. And when you're done, you just place it in the refrigerator for about an hour at least. Let them chill for a little bit and let that chocolate harden, and then you can start cutting into it. I think I left mine in the refrigerator for a few hours before I tried it. I wanted to try it before I gave it to my neighbors because I wanted to make sure they were good before I go and give them a baked good or anything of that matter. But they turned out so good. Oh my gosh, I still have some in my fridge, and I'm actually craving one right now because just watching myself make these, my mouth is watering. I will leave the recipe down below, and they are no bake, like I said, so you don't have to bake them or anything. You don't need any crazy tools or gadgets. So these are super simple, and I highly, highly recommend that you make these if you have not ever made these. And yeah, give them a try. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so tired. I think I'm gonna stop it there. Cinnamon rolls really take it out of me. I don't know what it is. They're just so exhausting. I did accomplish 3 things today though. I got a big batch of soup done, cinnamon rolls, and the no-bake peanut butter bars. I mainly cooked them for the people that I love and care about. The soup is gonna be for my grandma and my mom, and the cinnamon rolls, same, my grandma and my mom, and then the no-bake peanut butter rolls and the soup are gonna go, wait, no, I mixed up. Some things are going to my grandma's and my mom, and some things are going to my neighbors. I feel accomplished. All I have to do is season the soup and make the cream cheese filling for the cinnamon rolls. I'm not too worried about it though right now because I am gonna be distributing everything tomorrow on Christmas Eve. So everything's gonna just sit overnight, obviously in the fridge. Not the cinnamon rolls, they're gonna sit out, but I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, or had, I guess this video will probably be posted after Christmas, maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, I hope you guys have had a wonderful holidays, and be safe out there, and we'll see you guys next time.